You're not lost. If you were truly lost, almost any direction would work. But it doesn't. Every time a concrete option appears, you pull back. You say it's not the right time. You say you're not sure yet. You say you need to think more. That isn't confusion. Choosing hurts. And that's exactly the pain you keep postponing. You say you're lost as if it were a temporary condition, as if you're just in between phases, as if the issue were simply a missing map. You believe you haven't chosen yet because you don't know enough. You need more information, more clarity, more self-understanding. And that sounds intelligent. We're surrounded by possibilities, careers, cities, relationships, alternative paths. The dominant narrative says deciding too early is reckless, that commitment without certainty is dangerous, that closing doors could lead to permanent regret. So you wait. You wait for confidence. You wait for certainty. You wait for the perfect moment. And while you wait, you call this being lost. That interpretation is comfortable because it shifts responsibility outward. If you're lost, the world is just too complex. If you're lost, the signals aren't clear. If you're lost, the problem isn't you. It's the overwhelming number of options. The silent sentence underneath it all is this: I'm not avoiding anything. I just haven't found it yet. But notice something simple. You don't accept just any path. If you did, you'd already be walking. Choosing involves loss. If you choose one career, you discard others. If you choose one city, you give up the rest. If you choose one person, you eliminate invisible possibilities. The mind reads that as threat. So keeping doors open feels rational. It feels cautious. It feels sophisticated. People labeled intelligent were taught to compare, to analyze scenarios, to avoid premature decisions, and thinking it through slowly becomes thinking indefinitely. You open another tab, you watch another video, you read another story about someone who reinvented themselves at 40. You save another post about purpose. It all feels productive. You feel like you're progressing because you're accumulating information, because you're reflecting, because you're weighing options. But nothing is actually at stake, and that's what makes it safe. While you're exploring possibilities, your image stays intact. You remain someone who will eventually choose correctly. Your potential remains whole, untested, unexposed. Imaginary potential cannot fail, and that is deeply comforting. If you were truly lost, almost any direction could serve as a starting point. But when a concrete opportunity appears, a specific program, a real offer, a defined project, your doubt increases. It doesn't decrease. You say, that's not exactly what I want. Maybe later. It's not the right time. That isn't absence of direction. It's avoidance of responsibility. Because choosing turns abstraction into consequence. As long as everything is hypothetical, nothing weighs on you. But the moment you decide, something starts counting. Expectations form, effort becomes required, results become measurable, and the excuse disappears. If it fails, it won't be because you lacked clarity. It will be because you chose, and that is what actually scares you. Maybe what you call being lost is a strategy to protect your self-image. As long as you don't choose, you preserve the fantasy that you could excel in any direction, but that excellence is never tested. Avoiding choice doesn't look serious in the short term. 1 year passes, then 2, then 5. You're still preparing, but depth requires repetition. Confidence requires practice. Results require continuity. Without choosing, there is no continuity. You move on the surface. You try something here, experiment there. Before discomfort becomes real, you switch directions. This creates a constant feeling of almost. Almost started, almost progressed, almost committed. It isn't dramatic, it doesn't explode, it accumulates. And the longer you wait, the heavier choosing becomes. Because now it's not just about the future, it's about facing the time you already avoided. You watch people with less talent move forward, not because they knew more, but because they chose earlier. They accepted the loss of alternatives. You preserved them. But open doors don't build anything. They only preserve the illusion of freedom. The longer you remain undecided, the more indecision becomes identity. You become someone who is still figuring it out, someone who is in transition, someone who doesn't want to rush. That identity sounds mature, but it's comfortable. Abandoning it requires admitting something uncomfortable. It wasn't lack of clarity, it was fear of reducing possibilities. The brain prefers the diffuse tension of indecision to the sharp pain of choice. Indecision is exhausting, but it preserves fantasy. Choice hurts, but it eliminates fantasy. And most people protect fantasy more aggressively than they protect progress. Answer this without escaping. If tomorrow every option disappeared except one, would you take it? Or would you still say it's not the right time? Being lost suggests absence of path. Avoiding choosing suggests too many doors and a refusal to close any of them. The difference isn't semantic, it's responsibility. As long as you keep calling delay maturity, you will remain still with the appearance of movement. Nothing has been resolved here. You can still say you're lost. You can still search for maps. You can still collect possibilities. But choosing will continue to hurt. And maybe it isn't lack of direction that paralyzes you. Maybe it's the unavoidable pain of closing doors you insist on keeping open. The tension remains, and it does not dissolve on its own.